Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of PKM Weekly. So let's see what's been in store for us from the past week. First up, Obsidian, and they are hiring and they're looking to hire one extra person to join their team of 3, so growing their team by one more. Competitive San Francisco salary, fully remote, and you can live absolutely anywhere. So if you want more details, just follow the tweet and you can get the details from Airtable. And I believe you can then also find a little bit more information from Capano, who says 7 full-time employees, 1 million user per employee, fully remote, 1 in-person meeting per year, no scheduled meetings, no stand-ups, deep focus is prioritized, and our manifesto guides our product. So if that is a company that you want to work for, definitely do fill it in, and hopefully you'll be in with a chance. Plugin ecosystem, that's also growing, and according to Obsidian stats, there were 5 new plugins and 71 plugin updates during the past week or so. Calendar bases, graphic organizer, Kanban bases view, and a number of other things have been updated, so well worthwhile checking this website out if you want to be kept up to date with what's happening in the Obsidian plugin world. Great video from Paul. So it's stop copying files into Obsidian and instead use the folder bridge plugin. So Obsidian usually forces you to copy files into the vault just so that you can work with them, but apparently that ends now. And in the video he shows us how you can mount a hidden system folder, media library, remote sync folder directly into your sidebar without moving a single file. So well worthwhile checking out this 15-minute or so video from Paul and going through it because it does help a lot. A couple of interesting Reddit posts. Let's just check these out. So Obsidian is the first Notes app that didn't fall apart after 6 months, and I think I understood why. So quite a lengthy post by OP, so well worthwhile reading it, and a number of comments as well from other people. So do definitely check that one out. And the other one was, does LLM usage for note-taking defeat the purpose of note-taking? And I think I kind of agree, so let's just give this a bit of an upmark or an uptick. So basically, does using AI just defeat the purpose of you actually taking notes yourself and extracting the information that you learned? So an interesting question from OP on that one this morning, or 7 days ago. So that's that from Obsidian. Thymer, they've got the mobile app coming soon, and they've just displayed it in one of Wim's tweets. So you can see here, it's on the iOS for now. They are working on Android as well, but they're going to get the iOS release first. And you can see how it looks, make it a little bit bigger, and some of the cool stuff that you can do with it. So looking forward to testing this one out once it's released for Android. So some great stuff by the Thymer team. And also there's quite a lot of discussions in Discord over the past couple of weeks or so, including Markdown export and external tool compatibility, notes organization and workflows, workspace management, plugin development, mobile app development and usability. So quite a lot of comments on the mobile app and to try and get away from the PWA and into a fully fledged app. So some great stuff coming on that one. Some task management enhancements just to make it a little bit better and more closer to Tick or Todoist. And knowledge-based structure and flexibility, given that Thymer's opinionated flat collection structure versus a nested folder or library, such as Obsidian or a Tana-based setup. So well worthwhile having a read through of these. Definitely do join the Discord because the devs are there and they are actively chatting with users. So some good stuff to look forward to from the Thymer team in the next couple of weeks or so. And also looking forward to it being released out of beta, or out of alpha and into beta. Capacities, they released number 60, and it's got a new side panel experience. So static sidebar on the right hand side, just to give you a quick access to search, AI chat and backlinks. You can open it from the side panel. Or you can open any object from the side panel to see its full context. You can stack up to 3 tabs on the right panel and various different other things. The best way you can do it is just check out this video, 7 minutes, and Beth talks us through how you can use the new Capacities side panel. And on top of that, there was a few other things as well. More properties to basic media types, object sidebar changes, new space creation, trash 2.0, and better search with AI results. And if you want to see the full details on what all of these updates mean, definitely do check out their blog post. And you can see here what they're up to and what the changes mean with some examples. So that was that from the Capacities team, so looking forward to that one. Tana, Tana Outlier, Liner, and new Tana, 2 weeks on. So it has been a couple of weeks since Tana decided to do the split between Tana Old and Tana New. Things are still being developed and the community seems to have settled down a little bit, but there is still no sign yet of the new Tana, although they are working on it from what I can understand, and it's being internally tested possibly. And they do have some integrations with Google Calendar, Outlook, GitHub, Slack, Linear and Jira, and some more, and some enterprise features such as SOC2, GDPR, HIPAA compliance are expected soon as well. So well worthwhile keeping an eye on that one and seeing what the Tana team is going to put out in terms of the new Tana, as well as work still carrying on the Tana outliner. But if you see the Slack, it has been a bit quiet over the last couple of weeks in terms of updates and what's going on, but that could be due to Easter coming up and things like that. So keeping an eye on it as time will tell what's going to happen with it. The recent Tana AMA is now available on the blog, so you can check out the full details and what was discussed from the Tana page. You can see it here, 2 visions, 2 products, 1 vision. Meetings as work, not just coordination, and blah, 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 what they're basically up to and what they discussed in March. And then there's 2 new MCP help sessions with Mark, one on Wednesday the 8th and Thursday the 9th. And you can sign up in the usual place here if you're interested in attending. Logseq, very quiet, a couple of weeks in Logseq again, but they are apparently still working on it, not really much to report. And in fact, there was one comment that did make me chuckle a little bit, which is my only Logseq entry for today, Thursday, 2nd of April, to do quit. So hopefully not a lot of people are thinking the same thing, but it's been a bit quiet from the Logseq team, and hopefully they can bring that and change that quite quickly. Octarine, they released a new update a couple of days ago, version 0.40.1, task migration, git sync, views, better tag based filters, and various bug fixes. So well worthwhile updating and having a look at the changelog, because this was just the last one, but they have been updating it quite frequently in the past couple of weeks or so, with lots of improvements, lots of fixes, and lots of new enhancements. So well done to the Sajat and the Octarine team on that one. Workflowy, they've got a March update, and that's now brought email to Workflowy, so you can now email thoughts, notes, or links straight to Workflowy without even opening the app. So you get a unique email address, and you can email it your thoughts in a nice and easy way. So well worthwhile having a look at the update and seeing how that works in full. Appflowy, they released a little bit of a maintenance update, so they fixed various different things, just in prep for some new releases that they've got coming up shortly. So again, just keep a lookout on this project if you're looking for a Notion alternative. Heptabase, they've got quite a big release. The AI tutor that Heptabase has been building is now officially in public beta. So definitely worthwhile checking this video out from the team of how you can use it, what it actually does, and how you can hopefully make the most out of it. So some great stuff from the team on that one. And also in the latest version, you can export the whiteboard as an image in a nice and easy way. So you can just click a few buttons on the whiteboard and export as image, and that will just save directly to your file system. So some good stuff from the Heptabase team. Noteey, they've got version 1.54.0 that's now available, and it includes bidirectional mind mapping, support for opening images, PDFs, and videos within default apps, license activation guidance, and we've increased the card limit for free users from 100 to 200. So some great stuff from the Noteey team on that one. Orca Note, it's not one that I usually talk about very often, but they have been quite active of late, 4 releases in the past couple of weeks. So if you're not familiar, it's a open source note-taking app that is designed for outlining and full form writing, and it's not easy to get both right, but they are trying their best. And the latest update includes exported Markdown, now includes related resource files, query results, and various different bug fixes. And if you want to check out more about the product, check out the link here. You can see it in demo and also see a little bit more about it from the company website. Well worthwhile having a look at Orca Note to see if it takes your fancy. That was it for this week, so thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next week. Bye.